Calling the council of the whole committee meeting for October 8th, 2024, to order at 7 p.m. All members of council are present. Present from the administration, our service director, Kevin Costello, our fire chief, Ted Riggington, our law director, Brady Comer, and our mayor, Chancellor Overstreet. If there's anyone holding this meeting in courtesy to the public, please identify yourself. Your fellow attendees know that being recorded. Seeing no one for the city of Eastlake is Diane. Can you hear us out there?
No.
City of Eastlake is recording that meeting. It's coming up. We don't have any legislation proposed. I'm going to turn the meeting over to Lieutenant McCauley and I'm sorry, I don't remember your name. Rick Seidler, and they're going to give a presentation about therapy dog for the police department.
I'm going to let Rick do most of the talking in that, but this is kind of a project that I've been working on for about a year and a half. I was on the K-9 unit here as a patrolman. My dog passed away in 2013. When I moved up to sergeant, I oversaw our K-9 unit here, and the current dog that we have on the road, we used to have 2 dogs. Peanut, Rich and I reached out probably about a year and a half ago as a therapy dog. I want to do a therapy community type approach to dog here where all she's going to do is just love everybody and go meet people. She came about a week and a half ago to our department. I just wanted to see how it worked out, how the reception was and all that. And my guys had a rough day on the road with a bunch of calls we dealt with and that. She just came in and nuzzled up to them. And they just fell on the floor and pet her and laughing and having fun and everything like that. Victims of crimes, anybody experienced a critical incident she'll be available to them and all that. It's going to go to somebody who's a boss who's not a road patrolman, so she won't be working in his own car or anything like that. But this is a project I wanted for a year and a half, and we finally came to fruition with it. So I'm going to turn it over to her trainer and handler, Richard.
Okay, well, hello, my name's Richard. I'm from Grafton, Ohio. I have a Silver Bullet Canine.org website, those badges or departments that I've donated to. I donate to veterans and retired officers as well. Now, there's a little bit difference with this than a traditional therapy dog or what you know of as therapy dogs, okay? I don't believe in that per se because I'll tell you what, you can't teach a racehorse to race, you can't teach a dog to love. All you can do is find the core and then guide it, grow it, take care of it, and give it the good things it needs. So it's completely different than a dog that's raised in a lab. This dog does everything out of free will because it wants to. Okay, you can buy a dog for $12,000 and it'll know 40 commands and you can tell it to go fight somebody. But we need this relationship. That's key. So when this dog goes back to the department and it goes to every spot that it went to a week ago looking for that reward, it will have a relationship with those officers and it will be able to sense something different. And the lieutenant can do his job by saying, well, there's something going on here that the officer might not be saying or something like that. So lots of uses, yes. Yep, that's what she's for. Lots of uses. Because the de-escalation, they can use the dog on the street, they can use the dog for victims, if they're in the house fire, they can redirect those kids. I mean, it's endless on how this tool is to be used by the officers. This is set up for, I think we talked about like 30% house dog, where it stays at the department, but also out too. So I started with veterans, the police, retired police. There's no charge for the dog. There's no cost to the taxpayers. I make all the equipment, the leather, the training, all that. Most of the time, they get donations for medical care and food, right? So there's no. This is particularly this dog is $6,000 to $8,000. The dogs can be up to $12,000 because you pay hundreds of dollars an hour for training, sensitization, and socialization. So it's a $6,000 to $8,000 gift donation. You can't charge for a blessing, so I can't sell them. So I have to be a good steward to home them to departments who can use them and help the dogs on their job. But the program's a little different because it's not a traditional therapy dog. You send your dog to therapy school, that dog, they're not teaching the dog to find problems in people. You know, they're just teaching the dog to beat him. So what we need is a dog that does all this out of free will. So that's why this one's unique. We have great examples out there. I don't know if you've met Grace from University Circle. She's a great example. That dog won the force at 5 months old. She's leaving the fence. She had enough. So there's countless scenarios with victims and the officers alone. And I gave a big in-service at Hewlett Police Department. I said, I don't know your business. run down the hallway north of this would be enough to get you home. And that's what this is about. That's all it takes, is that little bit. And you'll see officers, engage, carry shoes in their pockets, and then she'll build relationships with them. And he can watch, the handler can watch and see how that dog interacts. And if she's a little part cleaning, she can say, hey, there's something going on. What happened here? Because the command staff, you can say, whatever the incident 2 weeks ago. That's the project. That's the business for the dog. But then the public. So it's science proofs, the pedagogy changes people in your mind. You need to be happy at the same time. So you have the dog, makes you happy, life is good. But it's critical that we start with a good form, right? Those other dogs are trained to put commands, they're trained in a lab for a year. These dogs are desensitized to gunfire, they can go to the scene, right? Go right to the scene. I have to train these dogs for different police departments. Some departments are barracks, some are office buildings, some are little world. So the dog has to be desensitized to everything. You don't get that with a therapy dog. You know what I mean? The reason it's therapy is because of the interaction. So like I say, you can't teach risk restoration, you can't teach that dog to love. It's in its core, it's in its creation. We just don't taint it with craziness, you know, Jason Rabbit, swirl, all that. And that's what you have. So I donate them. I think 6 police departments in 3 years, and then some veterans and entire office too. But any questions? How old is she? She's 1 year this month. Usually, I put them out in service at 6 months. Everything the dog needs to know is going to know by 6 months. Then the officer finishes the dog out with it in the environment that it's in and has buy-in and stake in the game to raise the dog. This is the oldest dog that I've donate at 1 year old, which is what traditional therapies are dogs that are 1 year old if they have good citizen papers. Canine papers, which is obedience. For instance, you have to be able to drop the leash, the dog has to follow you. One of those is the heel and play. Well, I'm not going to take my therapy dog and make it go sit in the corner for 3 minutes. That's not skill it needs. My skill this dog needs to interact with people and victims is different than what the canine needs. So I don't need that. We trim all that down to what the dog really needs. It needs to go in the freezer, it needs to be able to go to a critical scene, it needs to go to people crying, noise, and be responsive. Yeah, yes. And she just wants to love. That's all she knows. That's all she's ever really known how to do, you know. So she's half retriever and half lab. That's as large as she'll get, 40 pounds. And that's really it. She's just a good tool for the officer to use. And it's an extension. So like with any tool, you know, how it's used and how it's applied. So it's a good extension. So I think it's one of the biggest scores is the department, morale, mental health, and then you get all that bonus with the community. What's her name? This is Peanut. All right, Peanut. She had, it had named her something exotic, but she looked like Peanut to me, so she's Peanut. Okay, any questions? Thank you, buddy. Okay, thank you. Thank you. Apologize, or don't you? Thank you. Have a good evening.
Take care.
Okay, we don't have any legislation proposed, and we don't have any legislation coming. On jury council, will open the meeting at 7:09 p.m. On the regular council meeting, October 8, 2024, order at 7:01 p.m. Ms. Cronje, please, the pledge of allegiance, please.
I pledge allegiance
to the flag of the United States of America, and to the republic for which it stands, one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Will the clerk please call the roll?
Here.
here.
Sure. Is there a motion to approve the agenda for the regular council meeting on October 8, 2000? We don't have an agenda. We'll just skip that. Is there a motion to approve the minutes from the regular council meeting of September 24, 2024?
So moved.
Is there a second? Second. Will the clerk please call the roll?
Yes.
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 Yes, the motion's carried, the minutes are approved. Is there a motion to approve the minutes from the finance committee meeting of June 25th, 2024?
So.
Is there a second?
Second.
Will the clerk please call the roll?
Mr. Katsounis?
Yes.
Ms. Schmidt? Yes. Ms. Kreniak?
Yes.
Mr. Stelman?
Yes.
Mr. Sonic?
Yes.
Mr. Meyer?
Yes, the motion is carried, the minutes are approved. Is there a motion to approve the minutes from the finance committee meeting of July 9th, 2024? So, is there a second?
Second.
Will the clerk please call the roll?
Mr. Katsounis?
Yes.
Mr. Stelman? Yes. Ms. Kreniak?
Yes.
Ms. Schmidt?
Yes.
Mr. Sonic?
Yes.
Mr. Meyer?
Yes, the motion is carried, the minutes are approved. Our next scheduled council as a whole committee meeting is scheduled for Tuesday, October 22nd, 2024 at 7 p.m. with the regular council meeting immediately following the adjournment of the council as a whole committee meeting. If everyone's available, I'd like to schedule a council meeting, special council meeting for next Tuesday at 6 p.m. for the purpose of selecting a new council person to fill the vacant Ward 1 seat, as long as everybody's available. Okay, very good. We don't have any motion at this time. Do we have any committee reports?
We don't, but you said to ask you about the vaccine.
So I talked to the mayor's assistant, and what they've done in the past is they've always contributed a $50 gift card to each of the award winners for the best hot lights. So they're going to contribute $50 for the light. And that's their way of piecing it. Okay? Very good. All right. We'll move on to recognition of the public. There's no one signed up to speak. Is there anyone who wishes to address council? All right. Seeing no one, we don't have any legislation proposed, pending, or pending. We don't have any unfinished business. We don't have any new business. Move on to our administrative reports. Our first report is from our mayor safety director, Jim Overstreet.
Good evening, everyone. The splash park, there's a crew coming in sometime this week to finish hooking up the pumps. And once that's done, we can test the equipment, look for leaks, and unfortunately, it won't be up for use this season, but it will be open next. The construction on White Street is moving along, they're paving that, it started yesterday. NOPEC is holding a trick-or-treat event at the Captain Stadium on the 12th at 11 a.m. Trick-or-treat in the city is August the 31st, October the 31st, Wednesday, from 6 to 8 p.m. And trunk-or-treat, also at the Captain Stadium, is Sunday the 20th at 5 p.m. There was an opening on the planning commission, and it was the mayor's pick, and my pick is Reagan Myers. She will be sworn in very soon. And with that, I am open for questions.
I have a question, sir. Are there two openings on the civil service commission also that need to be filled?
Yes, you're right, they did, I was just told that. There are two openings.
And I don't know if they're both, are they your picks?
I think one is mine and one is yours.
Okay. Maybe start looking at those.
Yes.
Any other questions for the mayor?
I just had a question for the trunk or treat at the stadium. I thought it was at 6 p.m. Is that 5 p.m.?
I was told 5 p.m.
Okay, thank you.
Any other questions? All right. Thank you, Mr. Mayor. We'll move on to our service director, Kevin Costello.
Thank you, Mr. President. I have no formal report to add tonight, but I am open for questions.
Any questions for the service director? Okay, thank you. Seeing none, we'll move on to our law director, Randy Clemmer.
Thank you, Mr. President. I know you mentioned a couple times that we had an audit inquiry on the use of the ARPA money with budget, for lack of a better term. They accepted our explanation, so we cleared that out. I did get a full file on the DP building from Mr. Van, and we forwarded that off to the land bank. Thank you to Judy, because she's been working on that for, I guess, 3 years now. So we can get that forwarded off, and see if they have the ability to at least take the structure down and we have some cleaner corner, I guess. Other than that, no more questions. I don't think we scheduled, did you schedule? So I I'm open for questions.
Any questions for the law director? none, this council meeting is adjourned at 7:15 p.m.